Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
संकीर्तन की जय, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंद, हरे हरि बोल, हरे कृष्ण।
नमायो विष्णुपदाय Krishna prasthaya bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatadeshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Joy Dhanam Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Hare, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Manohari Govinda Jaya, Radha Manohari Govinda Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Manohari Govinda Jaya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha No Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha No Hare Govinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Jaya Gaurani Tai Jaya Gaurani Tai Jaya Gaurani Tai Jaya Gaurani Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Sachinandana Sachinandana Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Gora Hari Jaya Gora Hari Jaya Gora Hari Jaya Gora Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya 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 Gurudev Gurudev Jaya Jaya
Thank you very much, Dattatreya Prabhu and Sukumari Mataji. और कितने आज हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाए, श्री प्रभुपाद की जाए, गौर भक्तों की जाए, गौरांग दर्शन प्रभु, you are there.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, it's very nice to see you. It's too little bit early for you. Sorry to give you this time slot. Please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to you. All glories to Prabhupada. So a quick introduction. His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu is a disciple of Sri Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He stays in Govardhan Eco Village. He has written many books. First I want to say is a young dynamic preacher. Young means is always active in trying to understand the essence of the scriptures, bringing out, extracting that essence and presenting it. As Prabhupada has always told, read scrutinizingly and write books. So Prabhu is already has written many. Chaitanya Subodhini, you have Bhagavad Subodhini, and you have Sarva Saundarya Sangraham and many other books. So today we'll hear from Prabhu about the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Prahlad Narsingha Charita, some instructions for us to take today home and practice it. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Our fortune to have your association.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for assembling for this discussion on Narasimhadev's pastimes. I'll be speaking a few important lessons from the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in the next 1 hour based on the teachings of Prahlad. So Prahlad Maharaj's life itself is so exemplary. He is a best example of ahaituki and apratihata bhakti. So as we know, the definition of bhakti from Srimad Bhagavatam, savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir dhokshaje, ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. So the best way of performing Krishna bhakti is to serve Krishna selflessly, without any ulterior motives and without any interruptions. So yato bhaktir dhokshati. And if you see Prahlad Maharaj's life, this ahaituki and apratihata qualities are very wonderfully demonstrated in his life. So the very method in which Prahlad was enlightened in spiritual life is through Narada Muni when Prahlad was within the womb of his mother. So when a small child is inside the womb of the mother, what is the possibility of that child's developing so much of spiritual knowledge and hearing from a guru and remembering everything after coming out of the womb and practicing it, applying it? So, but Prahlad was fortunate enough to get a guru like Narada Muni, even right within the womb of the mother. And his being inside the womb of the mother was not an obstruction or interruption for his bhakti and for his taking lessons on bhakti. And although Hiranyakashipu was trying to kill Prahlad in several ways, still Prahlad Maharaj's determination in devotional service was not at all interrupted or obstructed, right? And in this way, we can see that Prahlad Maharaj is a very wonderful example of ahaituki bhakti and apratihata bhakti. So apratihata we have seen, and ahaituki means not performing bhakti without any ill motivations within. Now, if we see Prahlad Maharaj's case, after Narasimhadev appeared and killed Hiranyakashipu, Narasimhadev asked Prahlad, whatever benediction you want, you can take from me. So Prahlad said, my dear Lord, do you think I'm a businessman? I'm not a businessman. To exchange my devotional service for some material benefit. So, I mean, I don't want anything from you. So it is ahaituki bhakti. We have seen his apratihata bhakti because he maintained his determination in the midst of hundreds and thousands of obstacles caused by his own father. And we have seen his ahaituki bhakti. He was not tempted by any benedictions given by the Lord directly. So basically our advancement and satisfaction in bhakti depends on the purity of our intent and consistency of our attempt. So purity of intention is ahaituki and consistency in our performance of bhakti is apratihata. So our advancement in bhakti depends on intensity and intention in performing bhakti. Intention has to be pure and the bhakti also has to be intense. Not that I do some bhakti today and then after some time I will do bhakti again. I'll take some breaks. So that intensity has to be there, tivra bhakti, and also intention has to be pure. Just like in my room, there is some light. Now, if I switch on just one light in one corner of the room, it will definitely lit the room to some degree, but sitting on another corner of the room, I can't be studying a book. But for the entire room to get illuminated, I need a proper light with enough illumination. Similarly, one may perform bhakti, but if it is not very consistent or not very determined, the amount of advancement one might make may be very slow. But if one is intense in performance of bhakti, very determined and very eager, then the advancement is at a faster pace. So Prahlad Maharaj is very great example. There are so many lessons that we can learn from his activities. So Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad's father, he underwent a lot of austerities and received benedictions from Brahma. Now, Hiranyakashipu controlled his senses. Hiranyakashipu completely controlled his senses to receive benedictions from Brahma. But as soon as Hiranyakashipu received benedictions from Brahma, Hiranyakashipu became a victim of uncontrolled senses. Such unfortunate situation. Demons or demoniac people control their senses to receive some material boons, but as soon as they receive the boons, then they just give up their sense control and become victims, becomes what to say, slaves of sense gratification, right? As the way the senses are demanding them to gratify the senses, they will just do like that. So they are as good as animals. They are like sages before receiving the material benedictions during their tapasya. They become like animals after receiving the material benedictions, right? So Hiranyakashipu in this way received so many boons from the Lord, and he started controlling the three planetary systems completely. And now one day, Hiranyakashipu, now at that time, Prahlad Maharaj was studying in Shanda and Namarka school. Okay, so that is the school of atheism, and the syllabus in that school was just politics, diplomacy, dharma, artha, kama, no moksha. Okay, this is the syllabus there, and the faculty are Shanda and Namarka, the sons of Sukracharya. Okay, and the students are the children of all the demons. So the students, the teachers, the syllabus, all are materialistic there. And Prahlad was joined in that kind of school for education. What education that children will get when the training systems are centered on materialism, when the teachers themselves are so materialistic and atheistic, and they envy God. So now what they teach the kids there is Swapara, means identifying people as friends and enemies. These are my people, these are his people, right? And we have to befriend these people, we have to envy those people, we have to destroy those people. So Prahlad's conception is totally different. Prahlad identifies everybody as a servant of Krishna, as a part and parcel of Krishna, potentially a devotee of Krishna. But Shanda and Amarka identify people as friends and enemies. So that Prahlad could not digest. So one day, Hiranyakashipu called Prahlad and asked him, "My dear child, you tell me whatever you have learned from your guru in the guru's ashram. Can you just repeat that? I just want to hear, like whatever you have learned." So Prahlad went and offered obeisances to Hiranyakashipu. Definitely, Prahlad has disagreed with the philosophy of Shanda and Namarka and Hiranyakashipu, but he never disrespected them. You don't find any mention in Bhagavatam where Prahlad is using some foul language or harsh words to chastise. Of course, he presents philosophy very uncompromisingly, but he never spoke in a disrespectful tone, either towards Shanda and Namarka or Hiranyakashipu. He disagreed, but he did not disrespect. So now Hiranyakashipu called Prahlad and asked him, "Whatever you think is best, you speak, my dear child." Because a small child, when you are asking a question to the child, it need not be a very philosophical or technical question, or like you don't expect an accurate answer, right? So the child may speak something sweet, and you may feel happy just hearing his words. Oh, really? Like that. So even in Vrindavan, also all the gopis of Vrindavan, elderly gopis of Vrindavan would call Krishna and ask Krishna, "Krishna, what is this? Krishna, what is that?" Then Krishna would say something very sweet, and they just become happy hearing the broken language of this child. So now Hiranyakashipu called Prahlad and asked, "My dear child, whatever you think is best, please speak that." Okay, he did not give a specific topic. And Prahlad said, Tatsadhu manye suravarya dehinam sada samudvigna dhiyama sadgrahat hitvatma patam grahamandhakupam vanam gato yadharimashrayeta. Tatsadhu manye asuravarya dehinam. Oh Asuravarya, oh best of all asuras, oh best of all demons. I consider it best to give up this soul degrading materialistic household life and go and surrender into the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna in the forest. Vanam gato yad harimashriyeta. Take shelter of Hari in Vanam. Which Vanam? Vrindavanam. Right? So now Hiranyakashipu did not expect this kind of answer. He just laughed and he became angry. So he said that where did he learn all this teachings? He chastised Shanda and Namarka. Why are you teaching this kind of philosophy to my child? And this Shanda and Namarka said, no, my dear Hiranyakashipu, please trust us. Please don't doubt us. We are Brahmanas. Don't chastise us. It's not proper to scold a Brahmana like this unnecessarily. So we never taught Hari Bhakti to your son. Then Hiranyakashipu said, maybe some Vaishnavas are coming in disguise to our school and educating the children in Krishna Bhakti. So please protect the children from Vaishnavas. Okay. So noble parents, devotee parents, virtuous parents want their children to learn spiritual culture and get the association of Vaishnavas. But atheistic people or demonic people like Hiranyakashipu, they don't want their children to associate with Vaishnavas and learn spiritual culture. They want their children to remain as atheists. Now, Shanda and Namarka took Prahlad back to school and asked him, my dear child, please tell me the truth. We will not punish you if you tell us the truth. Why there is a difference in your consciousness? Why your mind doesn't work like other children? Why there is a difference in your intelligence? Okay. So, Pashu Buddhir. Now, in response to this question asked by Shanda and Namarka, Prahlad says that actually, I see your intelligence to be different from what it is supposed to be. You are saying that my intelligence is different from the regular conventional mentality that demons are supposed to have. But I see your intelligence to be different because you are discriminating people as friend and enemy. These are all creations of Lord's Maya. The illusory potency of the Lord induces living entities to think that these are my friends, these are my enemies. But I don't see like that, right? This is Pashubuddhi. I only see that everybody is a part and parcel of Krishna. Potentially, everybody is a servant of Krishna. And I just see them as children of God. Just like you see in Bhagavad Gita, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shunichaiva Swapakecha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. So Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. One who has Vidya, he has humility also, and he sees Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog eater, all of them equally. They are different, definitely, but the difference is only from a material perspective. From spiritual perspective, they are all souls and parcels of Krishna, and there is super soul within their hearts, right? So now this duality in consciousness comes from the influence of Maya. So Vaishnava thinking is Vaikuntha thinking. Every devotee thinks that every living entity is a part and parcel of Krishna and a devotee of Krishna. Different devotees render different kinds of services to different degrees, and we just have to accept the way they are rendering service to the Lord, and we have to appreciate it. We should not think people as enemies. Okay, so now if at all you want an answer to your question, who made my intelligence different from yours, I would say that the Lord has made my intelligence different from yours. Okay, my consciousness is so naturally attracted to the Supreme Lord, just like iron particles are attracted towards magnet. So, I mean, does anyone force iron particles to come and then go and attach it to magnet? Does anyone take some Fevicol or Feviquick or some kind of gum to stick iron particles to the magnet? They naturally get attracted. As soon as a magnet is brought to the vicinity, all the iron particles naturally go and touch. Similarly, all the living entities also have a natural attraction towards Krishna. And that natural attraction towards Krishna is manifested to the degree the consciousness is pure. Prahlad had purity of consciousness. So, in that pure state of consciousness, he is naturally attracted towards Krishna. But if the consciousness is having so much of impurity in the form of lust, pride, envy, greed, anger, etc., then we cannot get attracted to Krishna. This lust or material desires is like rust on the iron, which may block the iron to go and get attracted to Krishna. Right? So, Krishna is naturally attractive to everyone. The word Krishna means, the name Krishna itself means that he's all attractive. So he attracts everybody. If someone is not getting attracted to him, that's not problem with Krishna, that is problem with the person. Right? He is unable to act according to the natural state of consciousness that a soul is supposed to be. Hearing these kind of answers from Prahlad Maharaj, Shanda and Amarka were so surprised and they become very angry. Shanda and Amarka said that, oh, this child has completely become spoiled, so get a stick, we'll beat this child and then give him training. So they forcefully taught Prahlad diplomacy, politics, samadana, bheda, danda, dharma, artha, kama, without moksha. So like that they forcefully taught Prahlad. So Prahlad, 5-year-old child, the original child abuse has been done to this great devotee Prahlad. He was abused by teachers, he was abused by his father also, to such a degree. Right? So after training him forcefully like that for a long time, again Shanda and Amarka brought this little boy Prahlad and presented him in front of Hiranyakashipu. And Prahlad very humbly offered obeisances to Hiranyakashipu's feet. And Hiranyakashipu also was overwhelmed with Vatsalya affection for Prahlad. And he picked up Prahlad and then made him sit on his lap and he smiled his head and then he embraced him. Then he asked, my dear child, can you repeat any of the lessons that you have learned from your teacher? Earlier, in the first meeting, Hiranyakashipu asked, my dear child, you speak whatever you think is best. Okay, he did not give any specific target to the child. Now he is saying, you tell me whatever your teachers taught you. Then Prahlad Maharaj spoke, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoha Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. Now Prahlad was completely speaking pure bhakti. Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, you tell whatever your teacher taught you, not whatever you think is best. But Prahlad said, Sarvanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. You know what is that? Hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, remembering Krishna, and worshipping Krishna, offering prayers to Krishna. He just spoke the processes of devotional service. Then, what was Prahlad's logic? My father told me to repeat the teachings of my guru. And Prahlad had two kinds of gurus. One is materialistic guru, Shanda and Amarka. Second is spiritual guru, Narada Muni. So Prahlad chose to repeat the teachings of Narada Muni, not Shanda and Amarka. So in this way, Prahlad actually replied to the question of Hiranyakashipu only. So then Hiranyakashipu became furious. He was so angry. Where did you learn this knowledge? When your gurus did not teach you. Shanda and Amarka definitely they don't teach the Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. So where did you learn this knowledge? Then Prahlad said, Matirna Krishne Paratah Svatova Mithopi Bhatyeta Grihavratanam Adanta Gobhir Vishatam Tamishram Punaha Punaha Charvita Charvananam Matirna Krishne Paratah Svatova. So a devotion towards Krishna or Krishna consciousness does not appear in the heart of a person or in the mind of a person by one's own efforts or by the efforts of others. Adanta gobhir vishatanta mishram, such materialistic people will just become victims of uncontrolled senses, and they just enter the deep dark well of materialistic household life. Punaha punaha charvita charvadanam. They repeatedly chew the chewed. So Prahalad is not criticizing Grihastha life here. Prahalad is not criticizing Krishna conscious household life. He is criticizing materialistic life where people do not have any spiritual inclinations, or they are not interested in worship of Krishna. Right? So Matirna Krishna Parataha Svatova Mithopi Padyeta. Either one's own efforts or others' efforts, or a combination of both, will not influence a person to become Krishna conscious when they are too attached to materialistic sense gratificatory household life, right? And he Prahalad Maharaj further says, Nate viduhu svarthagatim hi Vishnum durashayaye bahirarthamanina andhaya thandair upagiyamanah te pishatantriyam urudam nibaddhah. Nate vidhu swa arthagatim hi Vishnum. Such ignorant people do not understand their own benefit. Swa arthagatim hi Vishnum. So one's own goal, everybody's goal is Vishnu, but materialistic people do not understand this, right? Durashayaye bahir arthamaninaha. Because of their durasha, because of too much of hopes or expectations from material realm, because of too much of addiction to sense gratification, because of too many material ambitions. Bahir arthamaninaha. They consider something which is external to be substantial and great and glorious. Bahir arthamaninaha. Andha yatha andhair upaniyamanaha. Just like blind people led by other blind people fall in blind well. Similarly, these people are misled by materialistic people. So they have materialistic aspirations and they are guided by material gurus. How to get material sense gratification. Thus, all of them will fall into ditch. And tepi ishatantriyam urudam nibaddhaha. They are by ishatantriya, by the plan of the illusory energy of the Lord, they are totally bound by the ropes of sense enjoyment. Right? It seems like sense enjoyment, but it is suffering because of sense gratification. Right? So now, then further he says, what is the solution for their suffering? Naishamatim tavadurokramangrim sprishantyanartha pashamo yadartha mahiya sampadarajo nishkinchananam navrinita yavat. So unless such materialistic people get an opportunity to bathe themselves with the dust from the lotus feet of great Vaishnavas, there is no scope for deliverance. In short, by the association and mercy and compassion of Vaishnavas, even the most degraded materialistic person also can be elevated to Krishna Bhakti. Hearing such teachings from Prahalad, this little 5-year-old boy, Hiranyakashipu was surprised and became furious. He said, "My dear soldiers, come here and kill this child. He doesn't deserve to live." So then all the soldiers came and then took Prahalad and then tried to kill Prahalad's tender body with deadly weapons and made Prahalad sit, and then they attacked Prahalad with deadly weapons. The tender body of Prahalad is being tormented like this, and they made elephants to stand on Prahalad. Now you see, a devotee is Ajatashatru. Although Prahalad was being tormented by Hiranyakashipu, Shanda, Amarka, and all these demoniac soldiers, Prahalad never had any envy or grudge or anger or hatred towards any of them. Because he is Ajatashatru, he never felt hateful towards Hiranyakashipu or the demons. Right? So now you see Duryodhan and Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir Maharaj never hated Duryodhan, but Duryodhan always hated Yudhishthir Maharaj. So that's the difference between the natures of devotees and demoniac people. So devotees never have any hatred, or grudge or envy or negative feelings towards others. So although Hiranyakashipu tried so much to kill Prahlad, Prahlad was not killed. Every time Lord Vishnu is protecting Prahlad, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate. Whoever worships me without thinking of anything else, without having any mental deviations. So such people are the recipients of Krishna's mercy and protection always. Ye janaha paripasate tesham nitya abhiyuktanam. For such devotees who are constantly engaged in my devotional service, yoga kshemam vahamyaham. I supply whatever they lack and I preserve whatever they have. It's my responsibility to take care of all the needs of my devotees completely. Now, when Krishna says this, he's not just offering some protection on a material plane only. Yoga means a devotee's attempt to connect with Krishna. Means it's one's attempt in spiritual practices, in spiritual life. That is yoga. Kshema means Krishna's reciprocation with our devotional endeavors. When Krishna says yoga kshemam vahamyaham, one meaning is I will supply whatever they don't have and I will preserve whatever they have. That is yoga and kshema. Okay. Another meaning is I will preserve, I will protect their inspiration to worship me. Yoga means one's connection to God's Krishna, one's attempts in coming closer to Krishna. That is yoga, right? So when Krishna says that I will take responsibility of their yoga, means Krishna will protect our inspiration to practice bhakti. Krishna will offer protection to us on spiritual plane also. The greatest danger is not some life threat. It's not some disease. It's not some loss of money. It's not being attacked with some deadly weapons. The greatest threat is losing inspiration to practice Krishna consciousness. The greatest danger that a devotee can face is developing a disinterest in Krishna Katha, lack of inspiration in chanting the holy names of Krishna, unable to render service to Guru. Unable to means not having inspiration to render service to Guru. That's the greatest danger, and Krishna will protect us from that if we take his shelter. Ananyas chintayantomam yoga kshemam vahamyaham. I will protect your yoga and will also cause you kshema. So Krishna will protect our inspiration to come closer to him. Now, despite so many obstacles in Prahlad's life at such a tender age of 5 years, still his inspiration to perform bhakti of Krishna did not slacken. He is always committed to the process of devotional service. There is absolutely no compromise in his Vishnu bhakti or Krishna bhakti. Prahlad was completely dedicated soul, whether he was being embraced by Hiranyakashipu or Hiranyakashipu was trying to kill him. So there is difficulty on a material plane, there is comfort on a material plane. So whether it is a materially comfortable situation or materially miserable situation, that doesn't affect spiritual practice of a sincere devotee. I generally, in a materially comfortable situation, one may forget God. And in a materially miserable situation, one may become desperately dependent on the Lord. On the other hand, in a materially comfortable situation, some people may think that, oh, God is great. Okay, He is keeping us happy. And in a materially miserable situation, one may lose their faith. Like Kritadyuti lost her child and she immediately started blaming God. Right? So now materially comfortable and miserable situations could either slacken our faith or dampen our inspiration to continue bhakti. But whether it is material discomfort or material comfort, exalted devotees like Prahlad Maharaj never lose faith in the process of Krishna bhakti. They are completely determined to perform bhakti. That's what we see in the life of Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, right? Of course, Dhruva also. So Prahlad Maharaj never lost his faith in Krishna. I am devoted to Krishna right from within the womb of my mother. What is Krishna doing to me? How can Krishna arrange all these kinds of situations in my life? Why am I being bitten by snakes? Why am I being attacked by weapons? Why elephants are coming and trying to pound on me? Why am I being thrown from mountain cliffs? Why am I given poison? So Prahlad never got emotional like this. He never felt that, oh, Krishna doesn't love me. Krishna is not showing any kindness upon me. So Prahlad never felt like that. His devotion levels are consistent and constant. Hiranyakashipu was surprised. My God, how much determination this child is showing. I am trying to kill him, but he's not at all fearful. He's like a dog's tail, right? This dog's tail, it never becomes straight. Whatever maybe the efforts that you put, the dog's tail will never become straight. So he appears to be immortal, although I'm trying to kill him in various ways, but still he is not getting killed. So then Shandai Namarka came to Hiranyakashipu and said, my dear king, please don't become morose. Okay, he's just a small child, 5-year-old boy. Looks like something is protecting him, but we should not worry about it. His determination in bhakti or his any other mentalities should not be taken so seriously, because when the children are grown up, they may not exhibit similar levels of determination, right? So just send him back to school. We will again train him nicely in materialistic philosophy, nothing about devotion. So eventually he will transform. He is a small child. You should not worry so much about him. Then Hiranyakashipu said, okay, fine, no problem. Take the child back to school, right? Give him more training. Make sure that he gives up Vishnu Bhakti and then becomes materialistic and atheistic and demoniac like me, right? He's my descendant, right? He's supposed to exhibit some demoniac qualities, just to uphold the reputation of our demoniac dynasty, right? He cannot become a devotee of Vishnu, who is our enemy. So in this way, Hiranyakashipu requested Shandai Namarka, and Shandai Namarka took Prahlad back to school and again started teaching materialistic philosophy of diplomacy, politics, and all that. So now, after classes are over, teachers went away, and Prahlad got some time to spend with other children there, other students. So Prahlad took this opportunity to train all these people in Krishna Bhakti. Now, he himself was not giving up Krishna Bhakti, and he was teaching everyone also to perform Bhakti, and all of them together, all the kids were doing Harinam Sankirtan, right? So they were so happy. So although the external circumstances or atmosphere is surcharged with non-devotional vibrations, a devotee's inner atmosphere is surcharged with devotional vibrations. Externally, there is a lot of materialistic vibes, but internally, a devotee always feels the loving hand of Krishna. He experiences that loving touch of Krishna, and there is no obstacle in Krishna consciousness. For example, you see, Prahlad Maharaj is in the midst of materialistic people. So many demons were surrounding him constantly. He was in the midst of demons. There is no devotee association, but still he is a devotee. Sita Devi was captivated in Ravana's kingdom. For 1 full year, Ravana kept her in the Ashoka Vatika. And she was surrounded by demons. And female demons there who were having donkey faces, owl faces, and all kinds of twisted forms, physical forms. They were constantly doing Ravana Katha, glorifying Ravana in front of Sita Devi and forcing Sita Devi to submit to Ravana. So, but she did not deviate even slightly from Ram consciousness within her mind. Rukmini Devi was being forced by her own brother Shishupal, Rukmi, to marry Shishupal. But Rukmini's consciousness and her mind and her thinking about Krishna did not get slackened. So Rukmini is completely dedicated to Krishna consciousness, and she offered her mind body and words totally to satisfy Krishna alone and no one else. So sometimes the circumstances, the situations in life are in such a way that we may not be able to practice bhakti. Sometimes we are surrounded by materialistic people and we are in the midst of so many material vibrations, and we may not be able to peacefully chant the holy names or hear Krishna Katha. But still, when devotees are determined from within, Krishna will allow them to continue their spiritual path in the midst of so many obstacles. In fact, for a pure spirit soul who is supposed to be a servant and lover of Krishna, to stay in the material world itself is an uncomfortable situation. To be entrapped in this material body that has hundreds of limitations itself is an unfavorable circumstance in spiritual life. But determined devotees continue to perform bhakti unto Krishna, right? So material obstacles are not obstacles for a determined devotee, and that's what we see in the life of Prahlad. He's being a 5-year-old child. He's being a demon by birth, and his association completely being materialistic, but not at all obstacles for Prahlad to advance in Krishna Bhakti. Age, caste, company are no bar, right? So now Prahlad started teaching all the children about the right utility of human life. So he said, my dear friends, you are wasting your time in all these games and learning materialistic philosophy. So the human life's duration is about 100 years, and 50 years will go in sleep only. And 10 years will go in childhood, where we hardly do anything, right? And 10 years will go in just sporting, and 20 years will go in old age. And the remaining few years, if it is not properly utilized for devotional service, we will just waste this human form of life, right? So we are all like cocoons caught up in our own, what is that? Cocoon makes some kind of home, right? So we are just caught up in that, in the household life or materialistic life that we ourselves have created. And without Krishna consciousness, we will die within that only, and we will have to take birth again. And Prahlad gives several instructions on devotional service. Now you see, Prahlad's divine teachings are given to these children in a demon's arena. Now, like he himself is practicing bhakti in the abode of demons, and he is also inculcating bhakti in others in the same place. Now you see, can you manage to see any bold preacher like Prahlad at such an age, 5-year-old preacher, right? So now, why these children were able to hear? Because these children were not contaminated by their teachers so much. They are very tender in age. They are very young, 5-6-year-old boys. So Prahlad Maharaj did not find it difficult to give them teachings of bhakti. Prahlad could not transform the minds of Shanda and Amarka and Hiranyakashipu, but he could easily transform the minds of all these boys, his students, other children around him who were studying in the same school. So now inspiration in bhakti flows effectively when the hearts of both the proponent and the recipient are pure. Now, if the recipient is not pure in consciousness, right, or at least he is not inclined to purify his consciousness, then although the person who is giving pure teachings of bhakti, those teachings will not have an impact on this impure person. Now, Prahlad is very pure, but Hiranyakashipu is very impure in his consciousness. So Prahlad's teachings did not make an impact on Hiranyakashipu, but those teachings made an impact on all these children because they have some purity, right? And they are very eager to hear from Prahlad. They all found that Prahlad's teachings are much sweeter and more practical and more elevated than the teachings of Shanda and Amarka. Okay, at that age, they could immediately calculate that, oh, these classes are very good, better than these classes, right? So they became attached to Prahlad and they started performing devotional service. So then this was recognized by Shanda and Amarka. They immediately brought Prahlad to Hiranyakashipu and said, oh, your son is not giving up Krishna Bhakti. And on top of it, your son is also spoiling the brains of other people. Other children are also getting influenced by him. Then Hiranyakashipu became so furious. He questioned that on whose strength are you so arrogant? Are you so confident? Right? Why are you behaving like this? When I am ordering you, when I order, even Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, all the great devatas also abide by my orders. They never dare to say or do anything against my wishes. And you are a mere boy, 5-year-old kid. And you are challenging my authority over you. On whose strength are you behaving like this? Then Prahlad said, the person who is the source of your strength is the source of my strength also. Okay. So the person who has given you some power, the same person also empowered me. So now that's a big blow on the false ego of Hiranyakashipu. Because Hiranyakashipu always hated Vishnu. And Prahlad is worshipping Vishnu. And Prahlad is saying that Vishnu is the source of my strength. And he's concluding that Vishnu is the source of your strength also. And that's a big blow on the ego of Hiranyakashipu. So, like somebody asked Prabhupada, some reporter, he asked Prabhupada, so, Srila Prabhupada, so Krishna is your God? Then Prabhupada said, Krishna is your God also, right? Not only my God, he's your God also. So a pure devotee of Krishna is completely 100% convinced that Krishna is the supremely worshipable object of every single living entity. So of this, there is no doubt. So there is complete conviction that Krishna is the supreme protector and Krishna is the supreme Lord. He is worshipable by every single person, right? So they could recognize that even demons also, although they are not devoted to Vishnu, ultimately they're supposed to be devoted to Vishnu. Their existence is dependent on Vishnu. And Prahlad is saying this very boldly. Now, can you imagine a big, powerful, fearsome Rakshasa with all weapons, with angry eyes, boiling like iron, standing in front of you? What is the possibility of a 5-year-old child boldly speaking in front of him? Right? But Prahlad had no fear of Hiranyakashipu. He just, no, it's not disrespect, but there is no fear, right? A devotee who is in love with the Lord does not fear any circumstances. So he can boldly say. So now he said that after all, this is the power of God. And Hiranyakashipu said, oh, you are so proud. You worship that Lord so much and you praise that the Lord is everywhere. If your Lord is everywhere, why will not he come here to protect you when I'm going to smash your head personally? So far, my soldiers have tried to kill you. Now I will kill you personally, right? Let your Lord come and protect, right? You are saying that he is everywhere. Okay, if he is everywhere, why is he not present in this pillar? And Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu with great force and pride, he just struck the pillar with his fist, and the pillar broke open. And in a very unusual form, the Supreme Lord has manifested in the form of Narasimhadev, right? Now you see, Satyam Vidhatum Nijabhritya Bhashitam Vyaptincha Bhuteshu Akhileshu Chatmanah. He says, or Sukadev Goswami says that just to make his devotees' words true, the Lord has manifested in a very, very unusual form. Satyam Vidhatum Nijabhritya Bhashitam. Nijabhritya means the Lord's own servant. To make the words of his servant true, the Lord has manifested a very unusual form. Satyam Vidhatam Nijabhritya Bhashitam Vyaptim cha Bhuteshu Akhileshu Chatmanah Stambhe Sabhayam na Mrigam na Manusham. So he appeared in a form which is not animal form, which is not human form. It's a combination of both forms, right? So now the Lord need not manifest this form, but the Lord wanted to acknowledge the autonomy of Brahma. Brahma gave benedictions to Hiranyakashipu, not to get killed in a certain way. But Lord Vishnu or Krishna need not be obliged by those benedictions. Even if Brahma gave boons to Hiranyakashipu not to be killed in a certain way, compromising all of them without paying any heed to all the conditions set in Brahma's boons, the Lord can come and kill. But he wanted to align with Brahma's will. Some people may misinterpret this that, oh, Brahma's benedictions are so powerful. Brahma is so powerful that even Vishnu cannot violate his boons. It's not like that. If Vishnu doesn't pay any heed to the protocol set by Brahma's boons, who will worship Brahma? Who will worship Shiva? So the Lord, although he is not obliged to, although he is supremely powerful, he aligns himself with the words of his subordinate demigods, just so that they're respected. And of course, after that, Narasimha gives a warning to Brahma also, don't give such boons to such demoniac people again. Okay. So anyways, the Lord has appeared in this unusual form, and he killed Hiranyakashipu, not inside the house or outside the house, at the doorstep, not in the sky or not in the earth, on little raised platform at the doorstep, not with any weapon, with his mere nails, not during the day, not during the night, but in the evening time, Sandhya time. So like that, he did not compromise on the protocols of Brahma's benedictions, but he killed Hiranyakashipu and protected Prahlad Maharaj. Then and he continued to maintain his angry mood, and all the demigods came and offered prayers to Narasimhadev and tried to pacify him. But Narasimhadev is not getting pacified. Narasimhadev is maintaining his angry mood. So nobody came forward. And even Lakshmi Devi also felt that, oh my God, I never saw my husband in such a fierce form. So she became very fearful to approach. She became quite fearful to approach even her husband. So now, why is it so? Why Lakshmi has to become fearful? Has she not seen Narasimhadev's form anytime? Yes, she has seen. Because Narasimhadev's form is eternal form in the spiritual world, the Lord exhibits himself as Narasimhadev for eternally, and Lakshmi definitely has seen that form, but still, just to create a mood of wonder, just to create some astonishment, Adbhuta Rasa, Lakshmi is just becoming fearful. This is all the pastime of Leela Shakti, the pastime potency of the Lord. All these responses of different devotees are organized by Leela Shakti. So Lakshmi has seen the form. So, and one more thing is the Lord wants to glorify Prahlad Maharaj in this context more than anyone else, right? So he wanted to give the credit of pacifying Narasimhadev to Prahlad, no one else, right? So then Brahma understood, and Brahma came forward and requested little Prahlad, so you go and pacify. So Prahlad Maharaj, he went forward to pacify and satisfy the Supreme Lord Narasimhadev with his prayers. But Prahlad did not feel proud. Now you see, several sages could not pacify the Lord. All the demigods could not pacify the Lord with their prayers. Even Lakshmi also could not satisfy him and reduce his anger. But Prahlad is given that privilege to go and do the needful there. So the very fact that I am chosen for some activity which was not performed by several people, that will induce some pride in me, induce some superiority complex in me. But Prahlad was completely aware that it's beyond my capacity to pacify the Lord, and the Lord will get pacified only if he wants to get pacified. If he wants to get pacified through me, I will act as an instrument in the Lord's hands. So, although a devotee is given a very privileged opportunity to do something which no one could do, and if he actually has done it also, a devotee doesn't feel proud. There is no arrogance or superiority complex in the mind of a devotee. That's why the first prayer offered by Prahlad Maharaj was Brahmadaya Suragana Munayotha Siddha Satvaikatanagatyo Vachasam Pravahihi Naradhanaya hi bhavanti parasya pumso bhaktya tosha. I'm sorry, I mixed up two shlokas. Brahmadaya suragana munayotha siddha satvaikatana gatayo vachasam pravahihi. Brahma and all the suraganas, means demigods headed by Brahma, they tried to pacify you, my dear Lord, but you are not pacified. Brahmadaya suragana munayotha siddha. Great munis and siddhas, they also tried to pacify you, but you are not pacified. Satvaikatana gatayo, and they are all in mode of goodness. Vachasam pravahihi, and their voice and their words are coming like pravaha. Pravaha means flow, right? They are eloquently speaking and praising you and trying to satisfy you, but all of them could not satisfy you. Satvaikatana gatayo vachasam pravahihi means indirectly Prahlad is saying that eloquent praises will not satisfy the Lord, and mode of goodness will not satisfy the Lord, or one's position is a great. Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Okay,
Prabhu, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, I thought connection was cut. So great praises, eloquent praises will not satisfy the Lord, and even goodness, mode of goodness will not satisfy the Lord. One's position as a great demigod or sage will not satisfy the Lord. Only bhakti can satisfy the Lord. But Prahlad says that Satvaikatana gatayo vachasam pravahihi naradhana yahi parasya pumso. He says that kim toshtum arhati same harirudra jati, means how can I who is born in Ugra Jati. Ugra Jati means demoniac family. How can I satisfy you? Right? If they cannot satisfy, how can I satisfy you? He was not feeling any superiority complex. He was only considering his position low compared to all these exalted demigods. Okay. Then he says, Manyedhana bhijana rupa tapashvito jaha tejah prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yoga naradhanaya hi bhavanti parasya pumso bhaktya tosha bhagavan gajayuthapaya manye dhana abhijana rupa tapa shruta oja. These are all great qualities, 12 qualities of great people. Dhana means wealth, abhijana followers, rupa beautiful form, tapa means austerity, oja physical strength. So all this will not satisfy the Lord. Na aradhanaya bhavanti parasya pumso. And what will satisfy the Lord? Bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajayuthapaya. Only bhakti can satisfy the Lord, nothing else. And Prahlad will question, do I have bhakti to satisfy him? Yes, I have some bhakti. But Prahlad is not taking credit for that bhakti. He says that I have some bhakti by the grace of Narada Muni. Because of Narada Muni's mercy upon me, maybe I can try to attempt to please the Lord. Okay. Vipradvishad gunayutad aravinda nabha padaravinda vimukhat swapacham varishtham manyeta darpita mano vachane hitartha pranam punati nakulam satu bhuri manah. So Prahlad says that great brahmanas who have all 12 qualifications, they cannot satisfy you if they are not devotees. But even a dog eater can satisfy you if he happens to be a devotee. One who is born in the family of dog eaters also can completely satisfy and please Krishna if he becomes a devotee. But Brahmanical qualities are not prerequisites for one to satisfy Krishna. Right? So now I have little bhakti by the grace of the Lord, grace of Narada Muni. So please accept my prayers and then be pacified, my dear Lord. In this way, Prahlad requests Narasimha. And then Prahlad offers another prayer. Tasmadaham vigata viklava ishwarasya. Prahlad initially began saying that I am not qualified to offer prayers and pacify you. Now, in 5 shlokas, Prahlad comes to a stage where he says that let me keep aside all the conceptions of my disqualifications. Yes, I'm disqualified, but let me not be overwhelmed with the feeling that I'm disqualified. Let me just consider Krishna's mercy. So, however disqualified we may be, our disqualifications are not greater than Krishna's mercy. Krishna's even slight trace of mercy can also destroy all our disqualifications and all our unwanted qualities and make us do some service to the Lord by His sanction. And all the services are done to the Lord not for His sake, but for our sake, for our own purification. If I say I am not qualified for this service, I will not do this service. How will we be purified? Right? It's not consideration of qualification. It's consideration of Krishna's mercy to give us an opportunity to render service to Him. Let's grab that opportunity and then do that seva to get purified, to come closer to Him. Right? So, in this way, Prahlad Maharaj says, okay, fine, I will try to pacify you. So his first 5 prayers are just preparing his mood to begin the prayers. Then he says, my dear Lord, you are very angry now. Please come down from that angry mood because people are getting fearful. Your incarnation is meant to induce fearlessness in everyone, but people are getting fearful by seeing you. Of course, I am not fearful, but they are getting fearful. Please reduce your anger. Please give up your angry mood. Now that you have already killed the demon, even sadhus also take pleasure in killing a demon, killing a snake or a scorpion, right? So scorpion and snake are very poisonous and they unnecessarily kill people. So when these creatures are killed, even sadhus also rejoice. So this Hiranyakashipu is as bad as a snake, even much worse than a snake or scorpion. When he is killed, entire universe is rejoicing. Okay, so there is no need for you to maintain your angry mood again. So please become pacified. And he says, Naham bibhemya jitateti bhayanakasya jihvarka netra bhurkuti rabhasogratam shtra antrasraja kshata jakeshara shankhukarnan nirhata bhita digibhat aribhinna khagrat. So he says that your bloody mane and your fierce teeth and then your eyes like firebrands and your wedge like ears, all these fearful features in your form are not at all inducing any fear in me. I am not at all fearful. I feel very confident that my Lord can manifest as a fearful form to cause fear in demons. Right? But my dear Lord, I am fearful of one thing. What is that? I am fearful of this samsara. I am not fearful of your fierce form, but I am fearful of samsara, fearful of this material existence. Please protect me. Please protect me from being a victim of this material ambitions, material desires. So, like that, Prahlad offers several prayers and pacifies the Lord. And finally, Narasimha becomes pacified, and then he offers benedictions to Prahlad. He says, "You take any benediction that you want." Prahlad says, "No, I don't want anything. I'm not a businessman to exchange my devotional service in return for some material boons. But if at all you want to give me a boon, I pray for the deliverance of my father. Please show some mercy on my father, Hiranyakashipu. Secondly, if at all you want to offer some boon to me, may I not have any material desires." These are the 2 things that Prahlad asked from Narasimhadev. Narasimhadev bestowed all this. Plus, he also now asked Prahlad to rule as a king of demons for several thousands and thousands of years. And then Narasimhadev left, and all the devatas came and enthroned Prahlad as the king, and they also left, and Prahlad continued to rule as the king of demons. And Prahlad's great grandson is Bali Maharaj, another pure devotee. Okay, that comes in the 8th canto of Bhagavatam. So this is in short, in 1 hour we tried to discuss the story of Prahlad Maharaj and some lessons that we can learn from his life and character, teachings and prayers. So thank you all very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Thank you so much, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. Very nice, enlightening class, covering almost 5-6 chapters. Even first chapter onwards, you covered almost till 9th chapter. You came giving the essence. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Devotees, anyone has questions related to this class? Taruni Radhamata, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. A very nice class that you explained today. Prabhuji, my question, I had two questions. One was when you were explaining the prayers of Prahlad, right? Prahlad is saying that it's not by good birth and etc. And also you said it's not even mode of goodness will please you, O Lord Nrsimhadev. So, but we also understand that it's only by coming to the mode of goodness can we raise to bhakti. Right? Of course, bhakti is independent of all other material causes, but unless one comes to goodness, it's very hard to jump into bhakti. So, could you comment on that, Prabhuji? That's the first question. And I have a second question related to.
I'll do one by one. Fine.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So, actually, in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is very much mentioned that we need to come to mode of goodness to transcend the material modes completely. But just coming to mode of goodness is not sufficient. So the example is given there that like coming to the airway, what is it called? Runway in the airport, right? So from there only plane can take off. Okay, so coming to mode of goodness means coming to the runway. From there plane can take off. Not from your road or from home or from our terrace, the plane cannot take off. We have to come to the mode of goodness, which is like the runway. But we cannot stay in the runway itself, right? The plane has to take off. So coming to mode of goodness, cultivating mode of goodness is important for a spiritual practitioner. However, one should not stop there because mode of goodness itself will not satisfy the Lord, as Prahlad says. So we need to go forward. We need to transcend the modes. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. So we are caught up by three modes, but the best of all three modes is mode of goodness. We need to come to that level, but we should not stay at that level also. We should just transcend that level. We should become Nistraigunya Bhava. Then the Lord is pleased. Yeah, coming to mode of goodness is important, but we should not stop there. It's not the goal, it's a means. Makes sense, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, got it. Yeah, right, understood. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. My second question, Prabhuji, is like I've had this difficulty in understanding like how like the sadhus are feeling very much. They rejoice when scorpions are killed. It's there even in Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. Like when the snake is killed, and then Prabhupada is remembering how his Guru Maharaj felt very. He quotes the same thing. Like when scorpions and snakes are killed, even a sadhu feels very happy because they are so envious unnecessarily of other living entities, and even without them harming these. Poisonous creatures try to kill innocent souls, but at one level we understand that they are souls too, and a person who's a devotee, he sees every soul in equally. He does not actually discriminate, right? So from that sense, we should feel kind of sorry for that poor creature in that scorpion's body, right? So how does the sadhu feel very happy when they're killed? I've had this difficulty for a long time, Prabhuji. I would really appreciate if we could comment on it. Yeah, thank you.
Yesterday evening, we were discussing Kalia episode. So in this context also, I think this is referred, Modiyata Sadhura Pivrishika Sarpahatya. So now Garuda kills so many snakes and eats, right? How is it justified? So the answer to all these questions, am I audible now?
Prabhu, no picture. Yes, we can hear you. Oh.
Yeah.
No,
So
video.
the answer to all these questions is that devotee does not rejoice as such for the death of a living being. The devotee's happiness is that an envious being that causes so much torture to different people, innocent human beings, when they are killed by somehow by the plan of the Lord, the living entity, means the snake or scorpion or some demoniac person like Hiranyakashipu, they are liberated from such an envious state of consciousness. So Hiranyakashipu is killed by the Lord, and our Kali is subdued by Krishna. So what does that mean? They are liberated from their envious mentality, from their envious consciousness. So now the next destination that they're going to have need not be a snake destination or a scorpion destination or a demoniac birth, but they get a better next life, right? And common people are protected from these poisonous and envious living entities. So it's liberation from envy for the snake or scorpion being killed, and it's liberation from their envy for the common people. So in that sense, it's a double benefit. Common people are protected, and the snake, the living entity itself, is also protected. So whenever a demon is killed or an envious person is killed, so that kind of pause or like a stopping of their nefarious activities and envious mentality happens by the grace of the Lord or his devotees. So that's why there is a rejoicing, but it's not like a sadistic pleasure experienced by devotee in taking pleasure in someone's death, right?
Got it, Prabhuji. Yeah. Thank you. Just one clarification, quick clarification, Prabhuji. You said like this scorpions and snakes, obviously they get the next higher birth in the species till they reach the human form of life. But when it comes to an envious person, and you said that they're losing their mentality of enviousness in the next body, the next transition, whichever species they get, the animals. But when it comes to human being, right, the envious person, when he kills, how does his consciousness change in the next body? Right? Because consciousness gets carried. Unless there is a transformation in that present life, it's very hard for that soul to have evolved in the subtle body, right? So how can you just clarify that?
So now, like when somebody religiously, in an authentic way, bona fide way, punishes an envious person or a mischief monger, that punishment itself acts as a reaction that purifies the consciousness to some degree. By experiencing the punishment, one gets purified. But when someone tries to escape the punishment, there is no purification. For example, Parikshit Maharaj did a mistake of garlanding Shamik Rishi with a dead snake. But Parikshit Maharaj regretted for it later. Oh my God, what offense have I committed? I have unnecessarily insulted a great sage. So he was repenting for his mistake, and later he even expected a calamity. But he did not just stop at expecting calamity, he desired a calamity. I desire punishment. I want to be punished for my mistake. So if I don't get punished for my mistake, I might be inspired to do similar mistakes in future. And that might affect my other family members or citizens. So I don't want my relatives to suffer for my mistake. So like that, by receiving some punishment for one's mistakes or one's mentality, there is some element of purification that happens. How much purification happens, how much the people get elevated, that all depends on time, place, circumstances, and the extent of sinful activities conducted by that person. And it's all case-to-case basis. But in general, when a person who is doing mistakes is punished for this mistake, either punishment or death punishment or whatever, is punished for the mistakes, there is some purification. And hopefully the next destination is in a better state of consciousness. Makes sense, Madhu?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much for the clarification. Helped me a lot, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Anyone else has questions? Hare Krishna, devotees, anyone has questions? Oops. Okay. Looks like no one else has.
In the call?
Devganandan Prabhu? Yes.
Krishna. You're saying something, Krishna Navnath Prabhu?
No, go ahead. Just we can end the call. Before that, I want you to say something and then.
Yeah. No, thank you so much, Darshan Prabhu. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I muted myself, but I think you have 2 lines on or something. I don't know. Echo. I muted myself.
We can hear you, Prabhuji. Go ahead.
No, I don't have 2 lines now. Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, you lost power or something?
Yes, Prabhu, I lost power. There is rain here. You can
I
see
see.
it's raining here. So there is no light in my room and I just came out. There's no charging in my laptop also.
We're sorry to give you trouble.
Monsoon started here.
You're in GV?
Yeah, it's raining.
Now the sound quality and video quality was very good. Before.
Yeah, inside the room.
Very nice. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation and sharing the Lord Maharaj's prayers and lessons from Nrsingadev's Leela. We're really blessed to have your association. Anybody else has any question they would like to ask before we end?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Amritanand,
Prabhu, go ahead.
Prabhuji, this may sound a little frivolous, but like the example of coming on the mode of goodness, like a runway, and the plane doesn't really sit on the runway, it picks up speed and takes off and goes. So we need. Is there any facility?
We lost you, Amritanand Prabhu. Voice is a little breaking up. You said till runway, and after that, is there after
Hello,
that?
can you hear me?
Little better.
Okay, I'll just go closer to the Wi-Fi.
Go ahead. Otherwise, text into the chat. Otherwise.
Yeah, Prabhu. So the aircraft requires a runway. Now, is there any, you also have aircrafts like helicopters that don't need runway. So is there something as related to the bhakti process where one can, without coming on the mode of goodness, transcend the material world?
Okay, fine. So, Prabhu, first thing is analogies are given in our scriptures, either in directly scripture or in the purports by acharyas, so that we understand a concept. We may not be stretching the analogies beyond certain extent. Okay. But one thing I understand, okay, you are adding another analogy. Is there any possibility? Yes, there is possibility. There are 3 types of devotees. Nitya Siddha devotees, who are the eternal associates of the Supreme Lord, and they are always liberated, always perfect. Okay, they are never contaminated by Maya. Then sadhana siddha devotees, who perform different regulative principles of devotional service. They follow all the rules and regulations in bhakti, and then they become perfect. They are sadhana siddha devotees, right? So for them, probably coming to mode of goodness and then transcending and then taking airplane will take off for them like that. But the third thing, helicopter option that you are saying, right? That is Kripa Siddha devotees. Kripa Siddha devotees are those devotees who may not be formally following all the rules and regulations in scriptures, but by the special mercy bestowed upon them by Guru or some special Vaishnavas or Krishna himself, they can attain perfection so easily. They are Kripa Siddha devotees. For example, Bali Maharaj, he was not a sadhana siddha devotee. He did not do some great devotional vows to connect with Krishna. As soon as he saw Vamanadev, he spontaneously developed love for Vamanadev, and he was inspired to give everything to Vamanadev, even against the orders of Sukracharya, his guru. To that degree, he developed a mood of surrender just by the darshan of this little boy, Vamanadev. Why? Because he was a Kripa Siddha, and the Kripa that he received is from Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad offered prayers to the Lord. My dear Lord, you said, you please show some mercy upon my grandson, this Bali Maharaj. So, because he's a Kripa Siddha, he received the Kripa of Prahlad, he attained. So, that is helicopter option. Okay, one is aircraft option where you go via runway, and helicopter you can go from your terrace also. So, Kripa Siddhi, Sadhana Siddhi, two things. Make sense, Prabhu?
Beautiful. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Thank you.
If no more questions are there, we can end the call here.
Yes,
Prabhu.
yes, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Devkinatha
Hare
Prabhu,
Yeah, that's good. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. We can end.
let's offer our obeisances. Vancha
Kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Yes,
Gauranga
Darshan.
Darshan
Jai.
Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu.
Jai.
A quick announcement.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
May 20th